bearers. They put down their instruments as the battle went on and take off the wounded. But sometimes, in Europe in particular, they would play through the duration of the battle.
The drums were also used to rally the troops to certain positions on the battlefield. We watch today and see if they do that.
Also of interest concerning the band is that the drums, the fifes, the bagpipes, and the whistles were all used because they were the pitch. They were either high or low pitched, and they could be heard over the battle sounds, whereas the officers' orders were sometimes indistinguishable because of the gunfire. So they actually had music for the whistles. So if they blew the whistle a certain tune, the men knew to retreat or advance or whatever. And the same with the fifes and the drums. And of course there was the bugle, which was another instrument that could be easily heard.
You'll find as the soldiers come onto the field that each person has a hackle on their hat, which is a sort of a feathery looking plume, and they're different colors. And those colors have a purpose, and that's so during the battle with the smoke and the confusion going on, the soldier knows what color hackle he has and what color he should be with, and he'll make for that group. They also, in some cases, carried their colors. They went for those colors, but I have actually seen battles at Fort Erie at night when it was very, very damp, and all you could see would be the colors or the hackles because the smoke was so heavy from the cannons and the guns and hanging in the air that you couldn't see anything else that was going on.
As the British forces make their way in to take up formation facing the enemy, be aware that the enemy is, if you turn around to the rope barrier, the enemy is straight across the field. The Americans generally identified by their blue jackets and white trousers, but sometimes wore gray, and the British by their red jackets and white trousers, but sometimes their trousers were gray. And the one confusing bit is the Royal Artillery wore blue jackets, much like the American ones, with gold braid.
At the Battle of Chippewa, the American soldiers came on the field wearing gray jackets because they were out of blue material, and the British officer thought they were probably recruits. When he saw them doing the drill, he said, "Those are regulars, by God," and the actual battle went on. And so impressed were the Americans with the fact of what happened wearing those gray jackets, that that gray jacket was adopted as the color of the jacket for the West Point. Over in the distance across the field from us, you'll see the American artillery, and you'll see more artillery moving down this side, which is, I would think, British artillery. It's interesting that with the Americans wearing blue and the British wearing red, that during the war a shipload of uniforms was coming across the Atlantic from England, and they were red uniforms.
First one scared the shit out of you.
Hey, you made it. Damn Americans are shooting cans at us.
The men in the green jackets, generally in green jackets and gray, are the skirmishers. They would be sent out early. Their job is to harass the enemy, which in this case would be the British, and pick off the officers if possible. And generally, they didn't follow any particular formation, but their job was essential. And the British also had skirmishers, and this case would be the ones with the green hackles in their shakos. And That's the Royal Scots Light Infantry.
And with the light infantry, there's usually they work in pairs with one musket loaded at each time. So when the one fellow fires, he loads and he looks back and tells the other fellow when he's ready to fire. And they move ahead, and they are there to harass the enemy from the other side. Now, Bob and I represent the two different armies. Bob represents the Americans in his American outfit here, and I represent the Royal Scots. So when this is over, we'll either be shaking hands or waving swords at each other, depending on how this goes. Did you bring your sword? Oh, I did.
Because I'm in the role of a semi-neutral, I am not armed today, so I hope the soldiers with long rifles picking off, say, the British Army from over 100 yards, but if they got in close, the Kentucky rifle could not put a bayonet, you couldn't put a bayonet on it, and you couldn't swing it because it was such a light, delicate instrument, whereas the British Brown Bess was used as a club when it was out of ammunition. And they could fix a 21-inch bayonet. So the technical parts of it are that one side had advantage at a distance, the other side had advantage at close in. What do you want to know? Sir? What do you want to know?
Officers? You two gentlemen here? Officers? Gentlemen? In front of me? A tactical. Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this battle is a tactical. It is not a reenaction of the Battle of Longwoods as yesterday's was. So what happened at Longwoods isn't necessary.
They also have a method of firing where they all load, and each soldier has a this way down the line. This is
If I was you and I had a camera,
warfare.
Good shot.
or your camo dress.
Doing the work of skirmishing.
It scared the fuck out of the ones going in there.
I know, eh? One guy was complaining over there that he had to die
In this battle, which is not actually the Battle of Longwoods, because for the sake of the reenactors that have come from a distance, one side will do defeat from the British. The next day, they try to let the other side. The same as any battle.
Pictures of the camps and stuff?
Yeah. I want to go through the village, so I haven't been there. Couldn't remember where it was.
This
this time.
They give you a map.
Yeah, I know. It's in my bag.
Melbourne.
Huh?
Rain like fuck outside of Glencoe, Melbourne.
Is it? It was spitting, but it seems to have stopped.
Royal Scottish Law. Call it that. And it will be clear. The British artillery just opened fire from the flank, which can be very dangerous. You're basically trying to get behind the enemy line on the sides, on the flanks. And once you do that, you encircle them, the battle's over. You just get more.
That big shot there, that's more like a 50 caliber than those other ones you're using.